This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Can I get into something that would be blasphemous a couple of years ago? Right? But I can make a case for it now. I can make a really nice case for it now. And hard to argue with me now on all of this because I have more proof than anybody that wants to take me on in this discussion. So let me ask you something. Why can't I say that Erik Spoelstra is a better coach than Gregg Popovich? Why? You tell me, why can't I say that? You realize that the Spurs right now have lost 16 in a row? They're 14-47. I've never seen Erik Spoelstra, even with journeymen, go 14-47. I saw him go 31-10. I saw him beat the Golden State Warriors a couple times with a bunch of scrubs. And that's what Whiteside, Johnson, and Dion Waiters are. Scrubs. Have I ever seen Popovich go 31-10 with scrubs? No. Does a great job with great players. Won a bunch of titles with great players. But see, I see Erik Spoelstra make a beautiful birthday cake out of crap. He makes chicken salad out of chicken. Shit. I'm just saying. I'm watching this, and it's like, bro, you've lost 16 in a row? I mean, aren't you the great Gregg Popovich? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I was looking at that. I was going, wow, you're 14-47, dude. 14-47, but I thought you were a great coach. You can't coach him up a little better than that? I'm just saying, I get to see Erik Spoelstra with stars. I get to see him with scrubs. I get to see him with a mediocre club like this one that he got him a shot away from the Eastern Conference Finals. What have I been saying about Erik Spoelstra for a while now this year? That he just makes things look better than what they really are. You weren't really that good in the bubble. It's just Erik Spoelstra's that good. You weren't really that good getting to one game last year because look at the team now. That's because he just makes you better than what you are. He'll get Dion Waiters to play the best 29 games he's ever played in his career. He'll get Whiteside to play the best he's ever played in his career. He'll get Duncan. He gets you to play so well, the front office gets suckered and has to pay him. Remember what I told you yesterday about the Heat? Remember I told you that they're G money, right? They're getting high on their own supply. Okay? And that it's because that guy's such a good coach. He makes things better than what they really are. He's been doing this for a while now with everybody. He gets LeBron and makes him better. He gets Bosch and makes him better. He gets Wade and makes him better. I mean, it's pretty impressive because I'm just looking at this whole Popovich thing. I'm like, you're 14-47. Like, what? I've seen Erik Spoelstra just make something out of absolutely nothing. I'm just saying, you got nothing over there in San Antonio. You probably should do a little better than 14-47. I know the guy that's here is a freaking magician. That's all I know. That's all I know. The guy that's here is a magician. He's an illusionist. That's what he. No, he's not a magician. He's an illusionist. That's what he is. Oh man, I just saw that this morning and I was like, wow, I've never seen Erik Spoelstra that bad. No matter whatever shit you give him, he somehow figures out a way to get. He gets some life out of Dwayne Dedman last year, and Dedmon's life eventually expired and you can only get so much out of somebody. But that's kind of what it is. He'll make a frog a prince for a little while, but eventually it's got to go back to being a frog. But for a moment, you had a prince. You know what I mean? And then you get fooled and you sign him to a 4-year contract. Oh, man. KMF says, you have a wild argument. Spo is better than Pop. Pop's success came from a strong nucleus that were together for a long time. Spo has to continuously change his team style of play. That makes you better. I saw him change his offense during the blood clot years with Bosch like 3 times in one season. It's impressive. I'm just saying, dude. It's another example of how good Spo is, and I try to explain to people. And I think that there's a portion of Heat fans that take him for granted because you have him here all the time, and if you start looking around the league, and when teams and coaches have to deal with other different kinds of teams and they struggle or get fired or whatever, here's Spo fighting a way to right the ship, to keep it alive, to make it look better than what it really is. Those kind of things. It truly is amazing. Seriously, what he does year in and year out, it is as impressive as it gets. I'm glad that his peers know how good he is. I'm not exactly sure the entire Heat fan base appreciates how good Erik Spoelstra is. I really don't. I think there's a portion of you that know how good he is, but I think there's a large portion of you that kind of take it for granted. I used to hear a lot of shit from some of you. Oh, well, hey, anybody can coach LeBron and Bosch and all that, right? Stupidity, right? Anybody can coach. Yeah, but you still got to win. And he won. And he figured out how to get LeBron to play with, in the post more. He figured out how to make Bosch more of a 3-point shooter, all of those kind of things. Now, the first year he gets embarrassed by J.J. Barea. That's not Spo's fault. That's LeBron, that he has not grown up yet, Like everybody knows that he came here to Miami to get his degree on winning. And he learned how to win here. Obviously, we all know that Celtics Eastern Conference game was the watershed moment for LeBron James. But Spo just makes everything better than what it really is. And it's dangerous for a front office, obviously, because you end up falling in love with players that really aren't as good as you think they are. And then you give them a contract and you're kind of stuck there. But
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.